It is time for us to change. And though change can feel very uncomfortable, a lot of times when we get over that perspective of change being bad, we end up realizing that the change that we have been avoiding is literally the missing link and piece to our personal freedom. Greetings, alchemists. Welcome back to my channel, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. My name is Sade. If it is your first time here, welcome. And if not, welcome back. It is always a great pleasure for me to continue making these astrology videos so that you can have an idea of how the cosmos is working and, most importantly, make the cosmos work for you and how to just make the best out of the transits. So for today's video, we are diving into the full moon that we have happening in the sign of Scorpio on May 12th. And if it's your first time understanding a full moons are basically when the sun and the moon are in two opposite signs. So in this case, we have the sun in the lovely sign of Taurus, which is a Venusian, feminine, earth sign ruling our material world, ruling our five senses, how we like to stay practical, how we like to stay grounded, and most importantly, how we like to enjoy the pleasures of a life. That is what Taurus energy is about. And then opposing that, we have the moon in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the feminine Mars. So it's how we internalize pain, how we internalize defeat, transformation, and personal power. Most importantly, Scorpio is about our ability to transform ourselves from anything and allowing ourselves to feel deep-rooted emotions. Scorpio is water. But the thing about these two signs is it's fixed. So when we're dealing with fixed energy, sometimes we need a chaotic circumstance or a chaotic event to take shape to really shift the stubbornness of the energy. And in my opinion, no signs are more stubborn than Taurus and Leo. Yes, Aquarius and Scorpio are both fixed signs as well, but because they both rule transformation, I feel like Aquarius energy and Scorpion energy kind of learn that they have to change, but they stay fixed in their way that they move about change. But when it comes to Taurus and Leo, oh my gosh, very fixed in nature. So what's going on with this full moon where we have it in feminine signs? So that means that whenever we're dealing with the feminine energy, it's an internalization of the energy. So there's something going on an internal level, and your environment is going to reflect that because everything stems from our psyche. There's something going on an internal level where you are feeling dissatisfied with the Taurus area of your chart. Now, keep in mind, Uranus is still in the sign of Taurus. So it's been shaking things up for a few years and it's on its way out. Okay, it will do a retrograde for a little bit, but it's on its way out by the end of this year or by the start of next year. We will officially be in Uranus and Gemini after the retrograde. So there's an area of your chart where you're dealing with the Taurus energy and you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied with your finances. You're not satisfied with your job. You're not satisfied with your ability to be stable. Or it can be that you have been taking heed to Uranus and Taurus and you've been working on being practical, working on stable ways of making income and changing what that stability has looked like for you. Either way, this full moon is going to shed a light on where there is an opposition between your comfort zone, your ability to feel stable and to make things work for yourself, and your internal needs of personal power, feeling defeat, okay, feeling insecure, feeling like you cannot trust yourself. A lot of times Scorpio energy has a problem with trusting people, but the thing about Scorpion energy is learn to trust thyself. Learn to understand that you can transform from anything. So this full moon is going to shed light on a deep-seated emotion, or it's going to bring something to the surface where you have been doing the shadow work and you have culminated a situation in your physical world because it stems internally first, but you've culminated and you've created a situation in your physical world that is based off of the deep work that you have been doing. And now you can feel that you have personal power. Now that you can feel that you have stability in your finances. But either way, this full moon in Scorpio is letting us know there is something that we need to change on an emotional and psychological level about ourselves so that our outside world can reflect that. And what I love about this moon energy is Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius, which is the planet ruler of Scorpio. And though we don't have an exact opposition, I do like to keep in mind that Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio all square and oppose each other sign wise. So even though the degrees might not be on top of each other, we're still dealing with energy that doesn't get along, and it's all fixed energy. Mind you, Mars is still in Leo. So we have Mars in Leo opposing sign wise Pluto in Aquarius, squaring sign wise Sun in Taurus, squaring sign wise the full moon in Scorpio. You will have to change, and it will be an internal change so that your physical world can reflect that change. And because it's Scorpio, it might be something that we've been dealing with from our childhood that has affected our psyche. An example that I can give of that, especially because we're dealing with Taurus and Scorpio, which are the money signs. Taurus and Scorpio rule wealth and finances. If you have a poor self-esteem, that's Taurus, lack of self-value, lack of self-worth, which is Venus energy, that will directly affect your ability to make money, your ability to feel confident about the money that you can make, and your ability to sustain money, because Taurus and Scorpio are fixed. So it's not just about receiving money and have it fleeting very quickly. It's about maintaining and sustaining wealth. So that's something that can come up with this Taurus Scorpio aspect. And now with Pluto in Aquarius opposing Mars in Leo, okay, Pluto in Aquarius is letting us know we are changing as a country, as a collective, in how we do things. You now need to be a new leader in your life so that you can have the stability that you need in order to survive, because fixed signs are all about sustaining. And I won't say all about survival, but fixed signs come after cardinal. So cardinals initiate the change and fixed signs sustain it so that we can have long-term success. We can have stability and practicality in how we move and what we do. So that is what I am feeling from this full moon in Scorpio. Now, again, if you have been doing the work, especially if you are a person that has strong Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo energy, you probably have been doing the work for some time because the planets have been on you. And this might be a culmination period of where you're realizing, okay, now I am starting to see the light. I am starting to see the fruits of my labor, and I need to turn it up a notch. I need to have more confidence in myself to make the currency. I need to have more confidence in myself to build the foundation that I want, to make the relationships or attract the relationships that are going to help me in the long haul. So that is all I have for the full moon in Scorpio. Feel free to let me know how this transit has been affecting you. If you are interested in a reading, go right ahead over to my website, Hidden Alchemy by Sade. You'll find all the information that you need to schedule your call. Now, also, I'm going to be start launching this in June, but I am launching my Spirit of Abundance training course. And this is where we take the notes that we have been receiving from our astrological chart, and we start to practically apply them in our daily life through habits and routines that we will build together. So for example, if you are a person who's been dealing with a tower moment, right? If this Pluto in Aquarius has really been on you, we will work on ways to now rebuild and how that can change the way that we view our daily habits and routines and the changes that we need to make for our daily habits and routines. More information for this in the June month, but just wanted to sprinkle that out there for anyone who is interested. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you for our next moon video.